Sunday. What's up, guys? ThaiRivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. All right, so this one isn't going to be a lot of editing. This one isn't going to be a lot of work. I just want to talk to you guys and catch you guys up. It is Sunday. I am thankful for a lot of things today. My YouTube is steadily growing, which reminds me, make sure you hit the like button, comment when I get on your nerves, and subscribe so you know the next time I'll be getting on your nerves. But I just wanted to check in and let you guys know where I'm at in life right now. If you haven't been following me on Instagram stories, @official ThaiRivera is my Instagram. Twitter is @ThaiRivera, and you can find me on both of those platforms. Also Facebook, but Facebook is so many people arguing right now that I don't really get too involved in Facebook anymore. And I used to be a part of that. I used to be one of those people, but now I'm just not really so into it. I've been really working on myself. I stopped smoking weed for a little while, which we'll see how long that lasts, because I'm kind of done with weed in a lot of ways. And I know that the potheads in the crowd will get mad at me for saying this, and it's nothing against you. And I'm not saying that anybody else should quit, or I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying any of the stuff that people would say. I'm not saying that. I don't have a problem with people smoking. It doesn't bother me if people smoke around me. I just am not the most productive stoner in the world. So I try to be very aware of what's going on with me so that I don't fall into habits that I don't necessarily think are productive, especially right now because there's so much I'm trying to do. I'm going through a pandemic just like everybody else, and I haven't been working, and I really don't want to go back on the road, which I say all the time, but it's just so true. I just don't want to be on the road like I used to be. If you've been following me, you know, before the pandemic started, for about a year and a half, I was pretty crazy on the road all the time. And I'm not a big drinker. I don't party on the road, so it's not like that's a problem. It's just I get tired of all the travel. A lot of what I do when I'm on the road is the road. And when I say the road, I mean I'll fly into one city and then drive to several cities after that. Either a feature will pick me up or I'll rent a car. And usually it's about 5 to 8 hours between each town and city that I go to. And I'll usually be gone for anywhere from 12 to 14 days. And if I'm lucky, I can bring Bijou with me. Sometimes I just have to go by myself. It depends on the situation. And so I don't like being away from my place, and right now I'm really working on stuff with my body, and to some people that doesn't seem like a big deal, but I feel like that's going to factor into everything else that I'm doing. And a lot of people ask me for diet and exercise advice, which I don't mind at all. One day I would like to in some way monetize that, and I'm not completely sure how I will do that, but I'm just being really patient with myself in a lot of ways, but at the same time, I'm working really hard and making sure that I stay focused, which is a part of why I needed to take a break from smoking weed, because I'm not the most productive stoner, and it doesn't really work that well with my body. Like, some people have regular schedules and are able to sleep. For some reason, when I smoke weed, it keeps me up. And I mean awake for a long time. That's why my sleep schedule has been so off recently. I quit. Then once I quit, it has to clear out of my body. Some people don't deal with that. I personally do. Everything I'm saying right now is just about me and my body chemistry. I'm not at all generalizing. I'm not at all pretending to be a doctor. I'm just saying that this is what I notice with my body. And if there's one thing I do know, it's how my body works. Sometimes I try to deny it because there's what you should do and then there's what you want to do. And I like smoking weed. I like hanging out with my friends and we smoke, and the comedians always have weed. And I have weed right now, technically. I'm just not smoking it, but it just doesn't work with my body that way. So it's taken me a couple of days to get my body back together as far as my sleep schedule. As far as my body goes, things are going better than ever with that. I've been working out like I'm supposed to. The other thing with the smoking is I do smoke more cigarettes, which isn't necessarily the best thing in the world because I already smoke a lot of cigarettes just regularly, which I'm not trying to change that about myself. I know some people will tell me about the negative side effects to my health and possibly getting cancer and that kind of stuff. I've accepted all of that. I smoke cigarettes. It's just part of what I do. I'm not trying to change that about myself. It's not something I'm working on. I've quit at different points, sometimes for a year, 2 years. When I did the 2 years, that just naturally happened. So I didn't think about it. It just happened. And I was fine with it because if my body doesn't want it, my body doesn't want it, and I'm not going to force it. But the time I did it for the year, that whole year, I just felt like I was just trying not to smoke all the time. And finally, I was like, well, why don't you just smoke cigarettes? Just get over it. And so I started smoking again and never looked back, and I'm happier than ever. So there's that. Today, though, should be the day that my sleep schedule goes back to completely regular. And I say this because there's a way that I've noticed my sleep pattern works, or the time that I'm awake works. I figured out the way my body works when it comes to sleeping and how many hours I can be awake. Last night, I woke up at 2 a.m. So the way it usually works for me is at the most I can do 12 hours and then 9 hours on top of that at the most. And then I start getting delirious and weird. Like yesterday, I started to get delirious and weird. And I was trying to upload my video because I'm doing some stuff with YouTube and research and trying to optimize the best times to put stuff out, which if you're watching and you're a fan, please let me know what time you think a good time is for me to put stuff out. What time do you usually watch? If you can let me know that, that would be helpful to me, because you guys are what I care about. I don't care about YouTube algorithm in general when people are on at the busiest time or whatever like that. You guys are the ones that are actually watching my content, so that's who I'm actually paying attention to, which is weird for me because I usually don't think about people a lot. And I know that that's an inconsiderate way to live, but it's me. So what do you want? What do you want me to do? You want me to lie to you guys and be like, oh, I'm just constantly thinking about other people? I don't think about people that much. Character flaw. Every person I've ever dated has mentioned it. And of course they're bitter because I didn't pay attention to them like I should have. And that's why I'm single, and I'm happy being single for the moment. Eventually I'll get tired of being single, but for right now, pretty happy. I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and be like, I'm so down. And so, no, I'm enjoying being alone. And I haven't really been on Grindr that well. That's a lie. I've hooked up a couple of times, but I was in an age appropriate threesome the other day, which never again. Age appropriate, not doing it. I could go into detail, but let's just say I didn't have fun, and it got the job done, but not my thing. So anyway, that's just me checking in. It's Sunday. If you guys want to give me a treat, hit my Venmo. That is at ThaiRivera-Comedy. Or you can hit my CashApp. That is ThaiRivera. And I will, I'm sure, put them somewhere on this video. That would be nice to get a little bit of fundage, because I haven't started my Patreon yet, which I will start. But like I said, I just want it to be something that's actually worth it. And I want to have it all figured out. But I have been making these videos daily, and I have been working hard for you guys. So if you can throw a couple coins my way, great. If not, I understand. You're going through a pandemic just like I am. So no pressure there. But if you can, definitely hit my Venmo, hit my Cash App. This has been ThaiRivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Happy Sunday.